Former Georgia quarterback Jake Fromm, you may have seen him on Dog Nation Daily, but he is treating us tonight and is joining us for our Dog Nation Game Day show. Wanted to get some intel from Jake about what it's like to play in the SEC Championship, the pressure around it. So, Jake, I want to go to you first because you've played in the SEC Championship twice. You've been on both the losing and the winning side. But in regards to the Georgia-Alabama rivalry in the SEC Championship, how has the narrative and the conversation around the game changed since you were in school?
Yeah, I mean, first off, just the SEC championship is just it's such a big game. You're coming fresh off the season, and it's a normal week to go into work and prepare for this game. But really, in our eyes and our minds, anytime we played in it, I mean, we felt like this was the national championship
Mm-hmm.
game. Like the two best teams in the country are going to go play it out, battle it out, and slug it out for 4 quarters. You knew mentally that you had to prepare for a 4 quarter game. Just emotionally, you just knew this game was just going to take a lot out of you. It's going to be a roller coaster of a game, the ups and downs. Knew this game is going to be a little bit longer. The TV timeouts and commercials always take so much longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get to the stadium too, just the atmosphere is electric. And it's just a fun time, and it's a blessing to play in those big time games.
So one thing you touched on with Brandon Adams during Dog Nation Daily the other day was how Mercedes-Benz is a little bit different than playing at Sanford or playing on the road. So I just want you to reiterate, is there anything different itself about playing in the stadium, whether it's the atmosphere? Now, I understand it's the same amount of yards on the field, but just is there anything different about the feeling when you walk into Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz offers just a very unique playing experience. You get an NFL type feel to it. For a quarterback, we're trying to find, hey, where's my shot clock at? Let me look at the clocks. Let me try to figure out where the score's at, the timeouts, all that good stuff that you would like to know, all that good information that you need to know. And then too, the crowd, it's 50-50 usually, us dogs and we have great fans. And so we usually have a little bit more than the other team did. But it ends up being super, super loud in that stadium. The train's always bumping, always rolling in Mercedes-Benz. And going to the playing surface and the turf, I always felt like the turf played a little bit faster. So
Mm.
the game's the best of the best. It's going to be a fast and quick game, and up to us as quarterbacks to make great, quick decisions.
And you do have a unique perspective being a quarterback, and then you take a look at somebody like Carson Beck, whose development this season has just been through the roof. But when you think back to your SEC championships, did you feel any sort of extra pressure being the quarterback?
Oh yeah, for sure. All eyes are always on you when you play quarterback. Every decision you make will be second guess, so to speak, or checked
Mm-hmm.
on. And even more so in these kind of games. Every throw counts in these games, and even throwaways too, right?
Yeah.
Throwing the ball away sometimes is a smart play, checking the ball down. But everybody's going to be watching and waiting for you to hit some really good throws, and you're going to need those throws, especially late in the game when they count.
So I do have to ask you, playing under Kirby Smart. Now we've only heard Kirby's leaked pregame speeches, postgame speeches, probably for good reason. Do you remember Kirby's message to y'all before both SEC championships?
Uh,
At least
not
things that you can
not
say
not
on air.
not Yeah, not word for word. There's a few words that I wouldn't really like to say. But no, coach always brings it. He always gets the guys just fired up, gets our blood boiling a little bit. It's exactly what we need and when we need it. So coach has always had a really good knack for those pregame speeches. As you guys have heard. It feels the way for us, if not more. Like we get fired up for it because we're ready to go than you guys do.
So, as a former player, coming from your perspective, obviously you know that Georgia has not beaten Alabama in Mercedes Benz Stadium. So, if they were to do that Saturday, amongst all the notable games that they've had over the last 3 years, where would a win against Alabama in Mercedes Benz Stadium rank for all time great Georgia wins?
Yeah, like on one hand, I'm stuck at, hey, it's a game against a good opponent. Like where it's at
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't matter. But I think it does in a little bit of the sense of, hey, I still count playing in Mercedes Benz as a home game for me. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it, playing on my home turf, man, I should be wanting to protect this turf the best I can. And so for me, I do think that'll be a big time win. Where it ranks, I couldn't exactly tell you, but I know it'll mean a lot for obviously those people in the building, and then a lot too for fans around the country.
Well, Jake, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. You do such a great job on Dog Nation Daily. We just had to have you for the game day show, so I appreciate your time.
Yeah, Kaylee, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jake.